Hello students, welcome to the e-education platform of Pathshala. Today we are going to deal with chapter 13, that is motion and time of standard 7 science. Like in your 6th class, you have already studied about what is motion and what is rest and what are the different type of motion. But here we are going to discuss different topics. So the topics that we are going to discuss in this chapter are, first of all, we are going to understand about a brief introduction about motion, like what is motion exactly and how you exactly define motion with the terms of position. After that, we are going to discuss what are the different types of motion. Then about speed, like we know that when we compare the motion of any two objects or more than two objects, we need a different heading, that is a different topic, that is speed. So we are going to discuss about that. After that, we are going to see what are the different units of speed. Then about how we measure the time and what are the different units of time. And then how or what are the different devices from which or by the help of which the different time can be measured. And then we are going to understand about a very important graph, that is a distance time graph. Like what are distance time graph, how they are made or how they are formed by using the data that we have collected. And after that, at last, we are going to have a brief summary of the chapter, like whatever or what are the different topics that we have covered in this chapter in brief. So let's start our chapter. Now in your 6th class, you have already studied that what is motion. That is when something is moving from one place to another. Now if I'm saying that a person is sitting, but he or she is moving his hands or his eyelids, so can I say that the person is actually in motion or in rest? So at that time the person is actually in rest, but the parts of the body are moving, but the person is not actually in motion. So how we exactly define motion? So let's understand by this image. Now here two cars are there, car A and car B, which are running at some speed. Car A is running at higher speed than the car B. Then in the image, again a person is standing near to the tree, which is I, and in car A, two persons are sitting, E and F, and in car B, two persons are again sitting, G and F. Now let's understand clearly how we define motion with respect to time. Now if I say, like these cars are moving, if I say the person which is standing near to the tree, like in comparison to the person those are sitting in the car, is that person is in rest or in motion? So if they see, the person is in rest because that person is just standing at its position, not changing its position with respect to time, right? And if I compare this person, which is I, with the person that is sitting in the cars, in both the cars A and B, this person will say that those persons are in motion because they are moving from one place to another. But the second case comes here. Now if I compare the positions of the person that are sitting in car A, that is E and F. Now according to them, both of them are in rest because they are just sitting in a one place. But if I compare their position with the I, if the person I is seeing them, what he or she will say that they are in motion. So what is the major concept here is the position of an object need to be changed with respect to time. If some person or object is at A position, that person or object need to be moved from A to B in some time. Like if the person has started the motion at 5 minutes and after 10 minutes, he or she has moved from A to B position, then only I will say that the person was in motion. Otherwise, that person, if not changing its position and sitting at one place, though doing some motion like moving his hands, his eyelids, moving his legs, but not moving from its position, not changing its position, then I'll say that person is in rest itself, not in motion. So that is how exactly we define motion. Though motion and rest go hand in hand, but both are different concepts. right? So that is about motion. Now let's see what are the different types of motion. Now this also you have studied in your sixth class, but here are different types of motion are there. In your sixth class you have just studied 2 or 3 types, but here we have different type of motion. So first of all, the first type of motion is rectilinear motion. Now what is rectilinear motion? Rectilinear, linear, straight. When an object or a person is moving in a straight path, right? It is not moving left or right, just moving in a straight path, then the object said to be in rectilinear motion, or we can say that in straight motion. Second one is our periodic motion. Periodic motion is when an object repeats its motion after in same interval of time, like in 5 minutes again it is like if it is moving from A position to B, like after 5 minutes again it is moving from B to A, right? And the intervals covered in this time, in this period, the interval of time should be same, then only the motion will be said as periodic motion, right? After that we have circular motion. So when I'll say the object is in circular motion, when the object is moving in a circular path, like in a circle, so then I'll say the object is moving in a circular motion. After that, the motion is again divided into 2 types, slow or fast. If the object is moving with slow speed, I'll say the motion of object is slow. But if the object is moving with fast speed or covering more distance in less time, then I'll say the object is in fast motion. And then the most important is rotational motion. The difference between circular and rotational motion is that in circular motion, the object is moving in a circular path, but in rotational motion, the object is again moving in a circular path or moving circularly, but around a axis. One end will be constant, it is not moving, but the other end of the object is moving in a circular path like this. So then we'll say that the object is in rotational motion, and circular motion is when the object is covering or moving in a circular path. So that is how different types of motion can be defined.